Hey everybody, it's Candy, aka Brown Eyed Girl 69. How y'all doing? Well, I've been thinking about this subject matter the last couple of days, and the more I think about it, the more I'm going to make a video and talk about it. Okay, I think it was 2 weeks ago today. It was exactly 2 weeks ago today that I was sick. Yeah, it was 2 weeks ago today, when I was sick. Um, where I woke up that Thursday morning throwing up violently and etc. etc. Alright. Well, since that time, after I got better, like from that part, I've been dealing with my allergies and sinuses. I say it's my allergies, but it could be another sickness. And the reason why I tell you this, the reason why I'm telling and talking about this is because of the things I'm about to say. Okay. I made a video. It was a short. I think it was on June 4th. It was raining outside. I think it was. We've been having a lot of rain. Like right after I got sick with that stomach bug, we were having a lot of rain. And I wouldn't say that Purcell got hit a lot, but we got hit with plenty of rain. And we were surrounded by it, even if our town wasn't getting it, we were getting the remnants of it. The clouds, things like that. In Texas, they were getting slammed. I mean, slammed worse than we were. And I do follow somebody here on YouTube that lives in basically the Fort Worth area, the Dallas Fort Worth area of Texas. And she's a Uber driver. And Uber Eats driver, I should say. She delivers food. And she hasn't been able to work this last week because, well, she started having all this chest pain right, like, shortly thereafter all these storms started occurring. She's not complaining about, like, any mucus or anything like that, but she's complaining about chest pain. She's complaining that her chest hurts so bad that she feels this, like, tightening in her chest, and she can't breathe. And she's experiencing that. I have another friend that lives basically just north of the Dallas area. And she's experiencing allergy issues, like me. I have another friend who lives in Florida, and she's experiencing mucus buildup in her body as well. And if I was to probably try to contact all my friends that lived in those states that got slammed with all those storms within the last 2 weeks, I can guarantee you they're all having some sort of a symptom. The reason why I'm saying this and bringing it up is because I think they're using biological warfare on us. And they're testing stuff out, and they're just doing it in certain areas and seeing how it goes, seeing what kind of reactions they get, or if they get any kind of reactions at all from the people, you know what I mean? I'd say it's really been bothering me more so than the last few days. In the beginning, when it first started, I thought it was just because of the rain. The fact that, the moisture stirred up all the pollen and stuff like that, We have cottonwood trees here. Cottonwood is like a big problem every spring for people. That gets their allergies. It gets their allergies really worked up when it starts blowing in the wind. And like today, I've had a headache, like right in this part to like right above my ear, and then like up into the middle, like on this side of my brain, basically, and head. It's where it just been hurting. And I've been blowing my nose like crazy, coughing up a whole bunch of stuff. My left ear, when I blow my nose, it feels like there's something in there because I can hear it like popping and crackling and stuff, you know. And then there's other times when it's open, I can hear a lot better, and then as time goes on, it just slowly closes. But I can't feel when it's closing. But then all of a sudden, I just realize that it's more muffled than what it had previously been. Other than that, I'm feeling physically fine. I'm not having any other issues. I'm not having no stomach issues or intestinal issues or anything like that. I'm just having to deal with this congestion. Today's the first day that I've really had a headache that went along with it, and I'm starting to get a little bit of pains in my shoulders and at the bottom of my neck. But I think that's just because of the, headache. But I took a couple of Tylenol earlier, and then at noon, I took some, I guess what they call it, daytime sinus congestion medicine. Well, I don't see that it's done anything different other than I don't see an improvement, honestly. Maybe I'm not as blowing my nose as often as I was, but I'm still blowing my nose and I'm still coughing up stuff. Headache's not as bad, but I do need to go ahead and probably take a couple more of those pills. And then I got nighttime, like, coughing cold medicine that I can take tonight to see if that helps. I have to go back to work tomorrow, 8 to 4, and then Saturday, 8 to 3. I'm not for sure of next week's schedule. I don't know if I'll be off on Sunday or not, even though this Sunday's Father's Day. But yeah, that's basically what I gotta do in the next couple days. Work 8 to 4 and 8 to 3. I got to see my grandkids yesterday. I got to see my grandbabies today. I even told my daughter, I was like, I think they've been spraying stuff. I think they've been, adding more chemicals to the mix than what they normally spray our skies with. And we were just talking about, like, all the different things, the way times was different back when I was a kid versus children of today. Like, I was telling Kelsey, I was like, shoot, back when I was 5, 6 years old, I was like, where I grew up, over there at 416 West Harrison Street. And then up the street from there was this park called Red Hill Park. And at that point in time, they had like a little kiddie pool up there with a whole bunch of playground toys and stuff like that. Like a merry-go-round, a swing set, this like big caterpillar type thing that you could crawl all over. And all sorts of kids running around. All I'd have to do is say, hey, Mom, I'm going to Red Hill. And she'd be like, okay, see you later. My generation was raised on hose water and neglect. It was a real thing. At 10 o'clock at night, they would say, do you know where your children are? A lot of people joke about that, but it was really a thing. I'm sure childhood abduction happened and occurred, but it wasn't publicized. like I was also telling my daughter, I was like, here's the difference too. I was like, I don't think the world's gotten any really worse than it really was probably when I was a kid growing up. It's just that it's more publicized. I told her we have these things. We've got these things at our fingertips consistently. Always telling us stuff. Always telling us what to fear and what could go wrong and this, that, and whatnot. I told her when I was a kid growing up, we had the nightly news that came on at 6 o'clock, and Walter Cronkite was the man that came on and delivered the nightly news. But sometimes the news that we would be receiving was already a day or two old. So we didn't even really know that it was happening when it was happening. Like now they've got breaking news. Oh, this is happening right now. We didn't have that when I was a kid growing up. They didn't have breaking news. And if they did have breaking news, it was going to be something like a major, major, major importance that was going to affect the whole entire country before they'd be breaking in on public television to make some announcement. So my generation grew up without really any supervision. Latchkey children. Children that came home from school with a key to unlock themselves and let themselves into their house, And then they basically stayed home and do what they needed to do until their parents got home from work. Me, I wasn't really a latchkey child. My dad made my mom quit her job when I was 5. So I wouldn't be a latchkey child. But when I was like 7, 8 years old, she got herself a part-time job. So sometimes after school, I'd be home alone for a couple hours maybe. Or I would just go over to a friend's house, or I would go hang out at my mom's job until she got off work. My parents weren't helicopter parents at all. I basically learned how to self-soothe myself. I learned how to raise myself. If I fell down and got a boo-boo, well, you know what? I brushed myself off and went on. If it was really bad, I would go home and make sure my mom would take care of it then, But for the most part, I had all sorts of scrapes, cuts, bruises. At one point in time, my mom always used to make mention that I had too many... People are going to think I abuse you because of all the bruises that you have up and down your legs. But she didn't, but she said that that's what people would say or think. My grandchildren, same way. Both my granddaughters, oh my God, they have bruises up and down their legs and on their arms and bumps on their heads. And because, well, they're rumble-tumble kind of girls. They're rumble-tumble kind of kids. They're just being kids, Now, my grandchildren do get to go outside and play, but it's usually on the weekends when their dad's home from work. Simply because he works such an early shift, he has to take their vehicle, the only vehicle they have, so my daughter doesn't really have access to a vehicle during the day to be able to take the kids out and about to do anything, but he only works Tuesday, Wednesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays, so he has Saturdays, Sundays, and Mondays off, and he basically has Fridays off too. He has Friday nights off because he's off by like 2, 3 o'clock in the afternoon on Friday. And he doesn't have to be back at work until like 4:30 a.m. on Tuesday or something like that. But my grandchildren definitely are rumble-tumble kind of kids. But even my daughter and I were talking about that house. She says, yeah, me and her are more helicopter type parents than you were with me even. Because Kelsey remembers how I was. Kelsey remembers how much freedom she had. She just had to get permission, to go to this friend's house or wherever she was going. As long as her homework was done and her chores at home were done, then she was free to utilize the rest of her free time however she wanted. I didn't necessarily expect my child to check in with me, but sometimes she would. Sometimes, like if her and her friend was walking to her friend's house, she would call me. Or call Daryl, whenever she got there to let us know that she was at her destination. And then sometimes she would call us before she was leaving. And depending if it was dark out or something like that, Daryl would either go walk and go get her, or I'd roll down the street and go pick her up. But it was usually most of the time that she hung out with her friends, because we live in this really small town. 2, 3, 4 blocks away. No big deal. But yes, I do believe that they have sprayed something recently. There's all this news, on social media talking about how there's just like bird flu, and there's this and there's that, and it's like, really, is there? Well, I know they're spraying something, but I don't know what it is. I know I'm dealing with a lot of allergies. I know a lot of other people are dealing with allergies. I know a lot of other people are dealing with health issues that they didn't seem to have until up to the last couple of weeks. And then I would say in the last 2-3 weeks, they've been dealing with stuff after all these major storms came through. Starting, basically in Texas, Oklahoma, Missouri, Arkansas, Louisiana, moving all the way eastward. And all the way up north to the northern states. There was lots of bad tornadoes and all sorts of big thunderstorms, floodings. Just, it was bad. And I think they've done something to us. Unleashed something as a test. Just to see what happens. Because they like us to be the rats, They like us to be the guinea pigs. The ones that they test their wares on, just to see what'll happen. All I can say is keep looking up. Wake up every day. And be grateful that you awakened. When you walk out that door to go do whatever you have to do, be grateful that you get to go do what you get to go do. Regardless if that's going to your job, or regardless if that's going to go pay bills or run errands, etc., etc. Be grateful that you have the ability to do so. Be grateful that you have the ability to live life another day, to enjoy life here, because I hear people complain all the time, but see, the thing about it is, what's the point in complaining? Why? Why complain? I understand it, and we all do it because we're all human. But when it comes down to it, what's the point? Because I'll tell you this right now, if you complain, you're going to get more to complain about. If you're tired of what's been happening to us, well, then turn off the boob tube. Turn off the crap. Turn off your social media. Quit watching it. Quit listening to it. It only affects you because you're allowing it to. It only affects you because you're bringing that energy and that information into your personal space. Me, personally, I don't know really what's going on out in the world right now. I know there's people out there living their lives, doing what they do, and that can consist of a variety of things. Myself personally, I don't really do much. In my little space in the world, I pretty much sit here a lot at home, or I'm over at my daughter's, or I'm at work, and that's pretty much it. Or I'm out running around my little town paying my bills, paying my electric bill, going to the grocery store on occasion. But because I work in a grocery store, if there's anything that I need, I make a list, and then I'll get those items, after I get off work one day or whatever, and do my grocery shopping that way. Then I come home, and then I don't have to get out and make a special trip just to go to the store, But that's pretty much my life. I don't have an extravagant life. I don't go out with friends and go out to eat and go out to movies or any of that. For one, I can't afford to do that. And two, I just don't have people to do those things with. And really, the only people that I want to spend time with are the people that want to spend time with me. I put my effort and energy out, but if nobody wants to reciprocate my effort and energies, then I'm not going to force them to, you know? But sometimes I do get tired of sitting here talking to myself, and I think that's one reason why I make videos is because I don't have anybody to sit here and talk to. I don't have anybody to sit here and exchange information with. That's about the only thing that, if there was anything I could change in my life right now, it would be more. I would like to have at least a good couple of friends that I definitely could count on and talk to every day on a daily basis via phone, or via text message. And talk about important stuff, not just, hey, how you doing, kind of thing. I mean, that's cool that you can communicate with your friends, and let them know, hey, hope you have a great day, I love you, whatever. But sometimes I do want to talk on different subject matters, on deep things, But I don't really have anybody to talk to about those things, so that's why y'all get the pleasure of sitting here listening to me talk about the ideas and thoughts that I have about current situations going on just based off my own observances, not from any information sources such as lamestream media. No. Everything that I talk about is based off my own personal experience or personal experiences from people that I know on a personal level. Other than that, that's the only places I get my information. Anyways, it's 22 minutes. I think there's enough of this. I might make another video later. I might not. Like I said, I get bored sometimes. Sometimes I think I should go live, but then again, who's going to join me? And because I don't have a computer, it's going to be hard for me to see the chat, etc., etc. But who knows? I might try it out later. So if I go live, hopefully you'll be around to join in. Alright. Peace, love, hugs, nugs. Smoke it if you got it. And until the next time, boob tube, I'm out.